Hello, British Lit students, and welcome to the 10th week of the actual 2016 fall semester. Only one posting this week, which is good news. It's a bit of a lengthy read, though. Rudyard Kipling's Man Who Would Be King is a few pages, but it's actually a good read. It's very entertaining, and I think one that you're going to enjoy. It's not poetry. It's actually a story. And the questions, take a look at the questions before you read it, because there are 5 different ways you can go on this one. You can talk about, even if you don't know how the British were able to conquer other places, particularly places like India, you might want to take a look at that for a little bit in order to fully understand that what Peachy and Callahan are able to do in The Man Who Would Be King is do exactly what the British did. They took a bunch of warring tribes, united them together to fight other tribes that they were warring against, and before you knew it, the British basically ruled India. Take a look at the imperialism slideshow. It's an extremely important one because at one time, England owned about a fourth of all the landmass in the entire world. There was a saying that the sun never did set on Queen Victoria's kingdom when she was at the peak of her power. She was actually named the Empress of India in addition to being the Queen of England. So a lot of that was done through corporations. So imagine, if you will, something like Exxon being able to take over a country and rule it as its king. That's what the East India Company did. It was a trade company. It was a corporation designed to make money that went into India. And since they couldn't make money by trade, they basically conquered India and ran the country until they couldn't do it anymore. And then the British government under Queen Victoria did that. So, the relationships between the British and the conquered weren't all that great. In fact, we looked at that last week, if you'll remember, with India, with the minute on India, and then, of course, the diary. There are other ways you can go with this, too, though. Daniel and Peachy are a couple of ne'er-do-wells who ended up being kings, at least according to Peachy they did. So there's that. Oh, gods. One of the ways in which imperialism was made possible was that a lot of the natives thought that the British were gods. In fact, they actually, that probably dates back to when Alexander the Great took over the area. And then, of course, he lost his power eventually. But the people were waiting for these white bearded men to come back. And then, if you don't know what Freemasonry is, you could Google that and answer that question. Freemasonry takes a large role in this play, or in this short story, because it is through Freemasonry that Daniel and Peachy are able to come up with these secret codes and secret words and secret handshakes and stuff that make them elite over the Kafiristanians who get conquered. So any of those questions, any one of those 5 questions, would be a good way to approach this. Now, here's the most important thing about this week, in addition to that posting, is that this week we're going to bring Victorianism to a close. That means the Victorian exam is now open on your website. Remember, you have a week to do it, so you got to go in there and take it. It's going to be just like the Romanticism one, all multiple choice. There will be general questions to help see if you know a lot about Victorianism. And then, of course, there will be some direct quotes. And again, just like with the Romanticism, you may not be able to read through everything again and try to find the quote, but there will be key words or key phrases that can help you in order to perhaps get it right. So, for example, I think with the Cry of the Children, there's that whole, it's good before we die. It's good if we die before our time, or something like that. That would clearly be Cry of the Children. So there are keywords and phrases like that. And I think I should have, if I don't, I'll go ahead and upload it, a study guide for you in D2L that can help you prepare for that exam. So the posting on Kipling, but more importantly, the actual Victorianism exam are this week. And then that'll close out Victorianism, and then next week we'll start the 20th century. So I hope you're enjoying the reading so far. I hope you're getting a lot out of this. And if you have any questions, as always, feel free to email me or call me or whatever it is you feel the need to do.